Hey, 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 hey. What's happening? I'm gonna do a New Orleans. What's happening? You heard me? Huh? This portion of the King David Super Show is brought to you in part by Diet Dr. Pepper when you just need more. Diet Dr. Pepper is sold in participating groceries and grocery supply stores near you, where it comes in, what we got here? Zero sugar, strawberries and cream, and cherry. And they also have a vanilla. Very, very, very fantastic. T-Swinny in the building. What's happening? What's happening, partner? T-Swizzle. T-Swizzle. What's happening, partner?
Hey, what's up, everybody? You got T-Swin back in the building. Hey, in the place and live in your face. Hey, Dr. Pepper. Let's go.
Hey.
You got something?
Hell yeah. Hi, Dr. Pepper. You just need more. Yes. Satisfying, gratifying. Dr. Pepper, we love you, baby. We drown ourselves in your glory, Dr. Pepper. We shower in the lakes of Dr. Pepper. As Prince would say, you can shower yourselves in the water of Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, bro. I'd like to welcome everybody to the King's Thought of the Day. I'm your guy T-Swin, rocking with the King.
What's up? What's happening? You heard me? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. That was for you. Oh man. See you popping that C4, huh?
Oh man, I'm sipping on the Ghost tonight, man.
Okay.
You know
need that caffeine.
If you're getting ready for your workout, man, this is really good. And if you're out there hauling, out there on the road, to keep you up and get you to the destination.
Tell me more about that, because I'm actually kind of new to that. I've heard about it, but I have not drank it.
Ghost, man. Ghost. I used to use Ghost pre-workout back in the day, man. When I was in the military, that's how I found out about them. And their pre-workout, it works. It gives you a boost of energy.
No shit.
And shoot, bro, it tastes good. See, this one is this Warheads flavor, bro.
Okay, so it's kind of like nerds. Kind of like nerds.
Man, it's good. And the powder tastes like candy, man.
No shit.
Yeah. So tell you the truth, man. You know, because we in our 40s.
Right.
I used to go to the local YMCA. I used to hoop. I go to the YMCA about 3 times a week. I go hoop.
Yeah.
And the local high school out there, the players from the team would be out there. So I'll be playing with them, running with them. I used to take a scoop of their pre-workout.
Yeah.
To keep up.
Yeah.
To keep up. Hey.
Dude, it was crazy, man, because we went to the casino the other night. And so what's it called? First of all, let me just backtrack. This is actually episode 9.5 because we had technological failures, and I thought episode 9 was actually relatively good. You know, we were trying to do a daytime episode, and just, you know, the internet got all fucked up. So I'm not trying to recreate it. You know, I just kind of felt like there's some really, really great topics that you know, to cover, and we're still going to cover them. But you know, I can't sit there and I just don't have it in me to try to do 9.0 again. 9.0 was dope, but 9.5 is going to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the other night we go to the casino. So we're both hustling. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, so we go to the casino, and I won like a PhD salary, you know, in 1 week. You know, because the thing is, people always have some shit they got to say. They're like, well, you know, I'm smarter than you. You know, so it's funny. I showed a buddy of mine a pay stub of mine. And I'm like, yo, check this out. Check out how much I made. And he was like, man, I'm smarter than you, this, that, and the other. And I go to school and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, okay, well, you know, I got a little blowback over that because I'm like, well, you know, if you're smarter than me, then why do I make more money than you? You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of kept going back and forth. And I'm like, look, bro, I'm like, you know, I think your validation is all in the wrong place. I'm like, your validation is on that bullshit piece of paper on the wall. My validation is on that pay stuff that I showed you. You know?
Yeah.
So the thing is like, times are hard. And, you know, sometimes you have to think outside the box. You know,
unconventional ways, man.
Yeah, you really have to think in unconventional ways. Because I was watching your show earlier about basically how, you know, how people are basically being phased out, you know, contingent upon technology.
You know, getting phased out of the workforce.
People today kind of need to make adjustments on, you know, how you earn a living and how you how you earn a living and what is your plan, in the next 10 years, because people will be, automated out of business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially, COVID, was a defining moment where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it really hurt the commercial real estate market because people are no longer paying rent. They're just kind of letting these things go. Like, well, fuck it. People can just
Yeah.
do things virtually. People are happier. It's more effective. You can be like this. You're literally working in your bathrobe, getting things done more effectively. You save at least a minimum of 2 hours of your day, right? Okay. You're saving 2 hours of your day. No accidents because you're not driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, on
less
the road.
possibilities of having a fatality on the road because you're not on the road,
Yeah.
And, you just really have to start thinking. You really have to you have to start thinking with your other brain where it's like, look, how can I be valuable? How can I what can I do to be valuable in today's world that's outside of manual labor?
Yeah. What skill do I have that I can profit off of for myself?
It's sad though. It's interesting. And I'm pretty sure that you noticed this as well. I frequent fast food. I spend a lot of time on the road. I'm out at night, late at night. And the common denominator that I always run into, in fast food, is the people that work at the window. How you doing? So and so, this, that, and the other. It's always a foreign accent, and they always fuck up my order. Foreign accent fucking up my order.
Mine got messed up today, bro.
Yeah, they can never get it right. So it's interesting. It's like, who's taking these jobs? You see what I'm saying? So you have people that have no docs, at least out here in South Texas. You have people that they clearly have no documents, and they don't speak the King's English. They can't disseminate what I'm saying when I say no pickles, no onions, small. I always get the same shit. I go to McDonald's. I get a number 3. I get the $3 bundle, right? Get the hamburger, no pickles, no onions, add mayonnaise. I hate dry sandwiches. No pickles, no onions, add mayonnaise. Small Diet Coke, or if they have it, Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. What is the deal with McDonald's and Diet Dr. Pepper? Get it together, people. Sell Diet Dr. Pepper. Thank you. So so I always ask for that, and it's like they only have it at the soda fountain, but they don't have it like at the drive-thru. Makes no fucking sense. They have Diet Coke, but they don't have Diet Dr. Pepper. So they always fuck up my order. Either they get it wrong or they give me somebody else's order. Somehow, some way, they fuck it up. And it's like, it's interesting because they have the first completely autonomous, automatic McDonald's, I think, in Fort Worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the very first one. It's completely automated, the entire McDonald's. So that people, there's your $15 an hour right there. You know what I'm saying? You hear all these libtards are over there, screaming about, $15 for minimum wage. Yeah, well, there it is now. You see what I'm saying?
You know what,
That's
man,
where it's going.
And I don't feel bad about it too, bro, because customer service is went down. It's shitty. Customer service is shitty. Like today, man, I put my order in.
Yeah.
I put my order in, bro. I told him, I said, man, let me get a classic chicken sandwich, add cheese, and add ketchup. Right? Large fry.
How do you fuck that up?
Large fry. What do you want for the drink? I told him, give me a grape Fanta.
Right.
They got that shit right. They got the grape Fanta right.
But everything else.
But they gave me a spicy chicken sandwich with cheese and ketchup, no lettuce, no tomato. And then they gave me a small fry.
Right.
I said classic chicken sandwich. Add ketchup and cheese.
Yeah.
And got a sandwich with no vegetables on it. Ketchup, cheese, and a spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And then I got a small fry in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what the hell is they listening to, man?
Bro, and the crazy part is, here's the part that annoys me the most. When you correct them, what is the first thing you get? Attitude. I'm like, I don't know if they gave me a spicy chicken. I don't know if they gave me a spicy chicken because I'm black. They probably assume black people all want black
spicy
man
chicken.
Look a chicken. They look a chicken. So, but
classic don't sound like spicy.
No. So the thing that kind of annoys me the worst, especially depending on what neighborhood that you're in, where it's demographically a little darker, you know what I'm saying? You get blowback. You know what I'm saying? They want to get attitude with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the thing that kind of annoys me the most is like, bitch is always a woman. It's like, bitch, if you don't like your job, fucking quit. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not going to take the food from them after that because I already know they spit in it.
Spit in it, yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand this entitled attitude. And it's not just in fast food. It's in all services now.
So tell them, man, we went to Denny's, bro. We went to Denny's after we went to the gun range. We went to Denny's after the gun range. All right. Dude bring us our silverware and he walked off.
Yeah,
all right. We looking at the waitresses.
15-year-old
we looking at the waitresses. And they just standing around looking at us. And one of them finally come over and she acting like it's killing her to walk 20 feet to our table.
And then
to take our
order. Had
order.
to signal her. He had to literally signal her. He's like literally signal her because our waiter looked like he was underage.
Yeah, he looked like he wasn't even old enough to work there.
Yeah.
But she comes over. So she comes over with this, I'd rather be doing something else, something else attitude. Or I really don't want to do this shit. So she comes over. Man, it was a gang of employees.
How many did I count? I'm counting them. I'm like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fucking employees, and not one of them helped us.
Yeah. So she comes over. She's like,
Sunday.
And this is how she looked. She's like, well, I guess he busy. So what y'all want to drink?
Yeah.
She looking like that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Like, man, if you hate your job, quit it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's like,
it ain't gonna kill you to walk 20 feet, take our order. You're not cooking it. You just bringing it and taking it.
Yeah, you order it. So what was it? Because you're not getting a tip or because it wasn't your table? It's like, well, I'm not getting paid, so I might as well not, be part of the team, So, but here's the sad part, people. I don't even fault the foreigner for actually working at McDonald's. I don't fault them at all because at least they want to fucking work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's the entitled fucking generation useless. I don't even know what you want to call them. It's the entitled generation fucking useless. That they just feel like I'd rather be playing on my fucking phone. While shit is slow. It's like I'm interrupting their video game. I'm interrupting their podcast, or I'm interrupting something. I'm interrupting something of theirs while they're working. That is the feeling that I get. I feel like I'm interrupting your bullshit time.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you this, bro. Like you know this, you're a traveler. Man, the best customer service I got, man, was in
overseas.
Japan. Overseas. Best customer service. The food looked like it came off the poster. It wasn't your buns wasn't all like this. Lettuce hanging out, meat hanging off. It was picture perfect. It looked like it came out of a magazine, like they reached in the picture and pulled that bitch out and say, Here you go.
Yep.
The presentation, it looks so perfect, you didn't want to mess it up.
Yep.
Restaurant spotless. Courtesy, off the charts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then they come over, the cook, man, or the manager come over and check and see how you doing. It's like Chick-fil-A on steroids.
I just had this conversation with my buddy Dimitri this afternoon. He was talking shout out to Dimitri Papadopoulos at Hangar Kitchen and Hangar Coffee Roasters. Check him out. He does caterings. My buddy Dimitri. He does caterings at a private FPO, which if you live on the moon, a private FPO is a private airport. So that's like where Floyd Mayweather flies in. That's where Beyonce flies in. Okay. So he caters these aircrafts. Okay. So we had this conversation today about, he was thinking about changing the menu. It's like, I want to change the menu. So he was asking me what my, he's like, what do you recommend? I'm like, dude, man, what I would do if I was you is I'm like, let's do filet mignon, or better yet, skirt steak, which is like a giant fajita filet. So if you're from South Texas, fajitas, like the real thing. It's a skirt steak of a cow. And I'm like, actually sell the entire filet with the chimichurri sauce and like maybe an au gratin mashed potatoes, something like that. So the conversation is like, look, I've flown first class, okay, on many different air carriers, Singapore Air, Doha, Lufthansa, EVA Air, Thai Airways, Air China, Air Japan, and United. Okay. And of all of them, the best were probably Lufthansa, EVA Air, Thai Airways, and if you can afford it, like Etihad or the one in what is that?
Emirates. I've even flown Korean Airlines.
Yeah.
And bro, service off the charts.
But the worst one? United. And you know, the sad part is it's the only American one, right? It's the only American carrier. It has the shittiest service, and it has the worst food, and they charge the most. Make me understand that. Make me understand that they treat you like fucking shit. You spend $13,000. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. For me to fly business class or business first from Houston, Texas to Bangkok, Thailand, okay, round trip, first class is around 13,000 US dollars. So make me understand, okay, that they don't even, first of all, it's like they don't even put you like in a Polaris lounge, like this chair that I'm sitting in right now. This is what you get. Okay. You're getting, this is it. Here we go.
Yep.
This is it. $13,000. You don't even get a partition. You're sitting next to some dickhead right next to you who's over there busting ass right next to you. You've been on the plane with somebody on first class or business class, and they're over there just busting ass right next to you. And I'm like, oh God, dude, I paid all this money for this. You know what I'm saying? And so here, it's the same menu. They don't change the menu. Okay. You know, it's like, I know it like fucking clockwork. They'll give you like a cheek. It's like it's basically it's fucking chuck. It's chuck roast. Okay. And they don't give you filet mignon. They don't give you steak. They give you, it's either a chicken or a cheek or what is it? Some burnt pasta. And they give you that. They give you some hot peanuts and some fucking ice cream. That is it.
Yeah.
$13,000. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting for example, on Thai Airways, you when you sit down, you have this beautiful ensemble. Okay. They have they have flowers, like fresh flowers in there. You know, another way you can judge first class, their bathroom. Okay. So the first class toilet in United looks no different from the coach. It's the same. Smells like just hot swamp ass.
Like a porta potty.
Porta potty in the air. But you go to like an Etihad or a Lufthansa or a double decker, a Thai Airways. There's fresh floral flowers in there. There's this. It doesn't look like a bathroom. There's wood floors. You know what I'm saying? The aromas are nice. They treat you nice. How are you doing? Can I have a wet towel, cold towel? Put that on your face. You know, that's the first thing they do. They ask you, would you like some champagne? Would you like some juice? Would you like anything? Mr. Ali, they already know your name. Mr. Ali, how are you doing today? What would you like for your appetizer and for your this, your that, your that?
Yeah.
Across the board. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what else? They offer you seconds. Yeah. I've been in first class many times where we've ran out of this. Make me understand this, people. I spent $13,000 and we ran out. Unacceptable. Yeah. Do you understand? And here's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is when they lose your fucking luggage. They lose your fucking luggage. Or it's shots fired. Yeah. I've had this happen where I've like flown from Houston to Germany, and then from Germany to Bangkok. And somehow, some way, my bag got lost. Motherfuckers, you owe me $3,000. Okay. Yeah. Because my bag is gone. I don't know where it is. Blah, 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 blah. By law, you have to pay me $3,000, for whatever it is, for whatever incidentals, blah, 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 blah. And you got to provide me some kind of room or something because you lost your shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
that was on
this,
United, man. They don't care.
What's the cost? What's the difference in cost between United and the Thai airline?
It's actually cheaper. $3,000, $4,000. So normally whenever I fly, like, because I'm a shopper now, so normally I'll do it through a travel agent or I'll do it on miles. Okay. What a lot of people don't understand is miles are worth more than cash because miles don't expire. So what the carriers do is they try to devalue them over time. So that 100,000 miles is no longer 100,000 miles a year later. So before, I used to be able to fly first class, from Houston to Bangkok back for 90,000 miles. Before it was like 60,000 miles, then it was 90,000 miles. Now you look at it now, I think it's like 120,000 miles. Now it's 190,000 miles. You see what I'm saying? Make me understand that. So you would have to again, think outside the box. So the thing is you could buy them online for half off, or you can buy them online for a penny on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So there's more than one way to skin a cat. So what these guys do is you got these guys that literally buy miles from people that have ultimate rewards, like through Chase,
Yeah.
or through like banking cards that have what's called the ultimate rewards or something like that, and they'll sell them to you at 1 penny, a penny a mile, or half a penny a mile. So that kind of offsets the difference, because otherwise you would earn $1 for every mile that you would earn 1 mile for every dollar that you spend, unless you're a president member or a club member like myself. So I use the club. I used to take advantage of like electricity accounts, set up new electricity accounts in my name. Direct TV, you get 30,000 miles to sign up with this and 60,000 miles to sign up with that. And just those 2 accounts right there, bam, first class flight
There you
anywhere
go.
in the world. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a miles junkie. You know what I'm saying? I was always, a miles guy. Now, here's the crazy thing. On the American, what's it called? On the United flight, here's the thing that I don't like about them. If they see that you have what's called a reward ticket, they treat you like it's a reward ticket. Oh, you didn't pay for this. I'm like, bitch, I did pay for this.
That's the American way, man. Sad to say. That's the American way, man.
They treat you, if you book something on reward miles, that you didn't pay for it. As a matter of fact, you actually paid more, because you had to spend dollar for dollar for dollar to earn those miles. You know what I'm saying? Which have been devalued over time. So you actually paid more and above and beyond what that shit was worth. So that's one thing I don't like about the American carriers. So that's why I always use what's called like Star Alliance. I use their sister carriers, Lufthansa, Air Canada, Air China, Singapore Air, you know what I'm saying? Thai Airways, Avianca, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You use the other carriers because they treat you like you're a god. You know what I'm saying? So when you're traveling,
treat you like you're human.
They treat you like you're human. They treat you like a god. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, look, all I ask for is just treat me for what. All I'm asking for is just give me what I paid for. Don't tell me that we ran out. Oh, we ran out after I spent $13,000. Negative, unacceptable. But the sad part is what I'm describing to you. That is today's workforce.
Yeah.
That is today's workforce. You want to know why we can't fucking compete? You know what I'm saying? We want to know why our children can't fucking compete today. They can't compete. They can't. Dude, for example, like, oh, dude, you're gonna love this. Fucking HISD, right? Houston Independent School Districts has been taken by the state.
By the state, yeah.
The state is taking them back because the scores are so low. Make me understand that one. But oh, God forbid we fall short on that fucking tax bill.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm not exaggerating. Like just me alone, I pay at least to fucking HISD. At least I pay fucking $30,000, if not more, every year. And I don't even have kids in school taxes. At least $30,000 a year I'm paying. Where the fuck is it going? It's not going to the teachers. It ain't going to the teachers. Oh.
Now we talked about this, man, on our Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. We had a former superintendent on, Dr. Michelle Finnick, and she was talking about how companies, because how these kids are coming out, companies are not looking for students stateside. They're looking for candidates from overseas.
F1B. Exactly.
They grabbing people from overseas because the output is horrible.
Yeah. You would have to be the best of the best. I just had this conversation with my girlfriend. We were driving back from New Orleans, and we were passing by some of these refineries, and I was explaining to her like what product that they make. And we were right outside of Lake Charles, and I'm like, you see that refinery right there? They make all the bleach. That refinery right there in Westlake makes all the Clorox. It makes all the bleach. That make all the chlorine. You know what I'm saying? So when it got destroyed during Hurricane Laura, right? I think it was Laura. It messed up.
Man, Lake Charles got hit by 3 hurricanes in a row.
1 year. Yeah.
Maria, everything.
Yeah. So the thing was, it disrupted a lot of product like PPG. Okay. PPG, which is the main element in oil-based paint. So there was a paint shortage. You couldn't find any oil-based paint. You couldn't get any chlorine. So you want to know why people that own swimming pools, you want to know why you're paying $300 for chlorine that used to cost $99? Because it was disturbed. It was disrupted. So now what's going on is like they're back. They're all their systems are back online, but they've been fucking us for so long. They're like, you know what? leave it. Record profits. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So paint
But that's the
prices will
American
stay.
way.
Yeah.
They do that with fuel. They do that with so many things.
Yeah, it's all artificial fucking inflation. It's like, well, if we can get away with it long enough, they're going to be accustomed to this, and
It's gonna become normal.
Let's just fuck them. It's the American
it's gonna
way.
become normal.
Look at eggs. Look at fucking groceries, people. Look at groceries. Best example, fucking eggs. Okay. I was reading an article about the farmers. About the farmers. They were saying that it's in the feed. It was in the feed that was causing the chickens to not lay eggs. It was some shit that was implanted in the I think there's 2 large manufacturers that make this feed that the chickens eat. And for whatever it was they were eating, they were no longer producing eggs. It was like making them infertile. You kind of see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, let's purposely fuck up the food supply so we can jack the price up on eggs. I mean, have you ever paid more than $1 a carton for eggs? I never have. You know what I'm saying? $6 a fucking carton? Really, people?
Yeah.
You know, for a loaf of bread used to be what, $1, $1.50? I saw it today for $4.50. Make me understand this, people.
Yeah.
Make me understand this.
None of this stuff is by accident.
No.
It's all put in place. It's all done for a reason, man.
So then you have this workforce, right? So it's interesting. Tell them we're live. Tell them
that was my alarm, bro.
Tell them to stop it. Tell them we're
my
live.
alarm.
Yeah. So so the sad part is you have all this going on, right? You have all this inflation that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have these motherfuckers who don't want to work and expect me to pay you $22 an hour.
Yeah.
So getting kind of back to what I was talking about, like me and my girl were driving back from New Orleans, passed up the plant, and I told her, I was talking to her, the boy, and I'm like, you see this place right here? I'm like, you know what? Because I told him, if you don't want to go to college, you don't have to go to college. Okay. You can go work here. Okay. And by the time you're 21 years old, you'll be at top pay. You're making $150,000 a year for the rest of your life. Now it's up to you if you last. And she was kind of concerned about, you know, the air, the smell, PPE, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, you have personal protection equipment. But more importantly, they only hire the best.
And all plants ain't that dangerous too.
Yeah.
Not all of them are, you're not exposed to the most toxic and some of them ain't toxic at all. Some of them you just dealing with plastics.
Right.
And then you wash them down with regular water.
Right.
But other places you're gonna be dealing with some
hazardous shit. You know what I'm saying?
Acids, caustics, dangerous gases, high vapor pressures, highly flammable, you know, things that freeze that are, you know what I'm saying, or high pressures that cut you in half.
Yeah, at weird temperatures.
You know,
what was that shit that Terrell got exposed to? Was that
it's H2S, man.
H2S.
It's a vapor that come off crude oil, and it's the same vapor that come off asphalt because asphalt
will fucking kill you.
Product.
That shit will fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and it causes cancer.
Yeah. So the thing is like you have to make sure that you're wearing your personal protection equipment, at all times, and then you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But what I was kind of explaining to her is like, look, there may not actually be anything that's it's like you go to college and what they want you to basically go into debt, $150,000 to $200,000 in debt for what, a $50,000 a year. Does that sound like a fair trade-off to you?
Hell no.
Exactly. So it's like, I would rather send him to a trade school, you know what I'm saying? Or send him straight to P-Tech school or try to get him into like some type of, when he's in high school, thank you. An apprenticeship program in high school, you know what I'm saying? So he's automatically hired as soon as upon graduation.
Yeah.
And I had a godson of mine who I was grooming, and I got him on with Dow Chemical.
Like a paid internship.
Oh, it was a paid internship. And it was very disappointing to me that he didn't, go down that avenue, because it's like I got him the internship, I got him the internship, I got him the appointment. They liked him, the whole 9 yards, and he's like, I don't want to do this. This is what you want from me. It's not what I want from me. I'm like, the sad part about being twice somebody's age is like you see everything in the future, and it's like they don't get it. They don't get it, or they don't want it. And so then, like later on down in life, it's like, look, I had you set up for life, and you fucked this up. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand, like,
or even it's the base or the foundation for what you want to do for the rest of your life. So like, and I
We
like
always
this,
we always do things we don't want to do.
This is one thing about other cultures that I admire. Like people get upset, they be like, "Well, they had no say so. Their parents made them do this." Okay, yeah, like you'll see this a lot in the Asian community, Indians and Asians. They'll come here, they'll be accountants, they'll be doctors, they'll be lawyers, right? Medical, dental, whatever. Their parents made them do that stuff, but those careers puts them in like 300, 400, 500,000, $1 million a year. They take that skill and then they invest in the other things that they want to do.
Exactly.
But now they got the skill that they cover. They can have a comfortable life. Yeah, exactly. So people say they want to be free, but nah, that's a good game plan. You know what I'm saying? So you take that as a stepping stone to do what you want, but now you got something to back up. Whatever, you're going to be safe. If you want to have a family, you got the income to cover a family. If you got kids and they want to go to college, now you got the income to cover them for college. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was trying to tell my daughter the other day, I'm trying to set you up. So yeah, it might not be what you want to do right now, but it's going to be the stepping stone to help you be able to do what you want to do.
Right.
So
exactly.
That right there, and that most paid internships at chemical plants like that are like $30,000.
Yep.
That's somebody's grown annual income.
Exactly. You tell me what 17-year-old makes that kind of money? Zero.
Exactly. You're getting paid to learn, and then you got a guaranteed job once you complete that internship.
Exactly. So
and that 30,000, that 30,000 gonna turn to 70, 80, 90 your first year.
Base pay. Exactly.
And check this out. In the chemical plants too, man, you get paid holidays. Sometimes holidays is double time and a half. Sometimes it's triple pay. So I work
$700 in one day.
And so I'm making $1,500 in one day because it's a holiday. And then the holidays is slow too. So what work you either go on a regular day, ain't happening on a holiday because ain't nothing moving. Trucks ain't coming in, none of that. So you getting paid to chill. I'm gonna put it out there. You getting paid to Cadillac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so your first year, you're gonna make, it might say $70,000, $80,000, but you're gonna make $100,000 because of overtime that's factored in, the holidays and stuff like that. So you're gonna make $100,000. And if you're a single man, no kids, man, you winning.
Exactly.
Take that and invest in other things you want to do.
The main thing is you got to be able to groom your children to not complicate their lives.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before they accomplish their career. People always have this shit on the inverse. Oh, let me just complicate my life first, and then I got to go sit there and figure it out. No, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And that's why. So that's kind of the problem. I want to just choke the shit out of these damn kids. Where it's like, look, you know what I'm saying? Don't complicate your life first before you get your career in order. Get your career in order, then complicate your life. You know what I'm saying? And if you actually follow my fucking footprint, you'll never complicate your life.
Yeah, you never complicate your life. Yeah,
you'll never complicate your life.
Yeah,
you'll
we didn't take them L's for you.
Your life.
Yeah.
Never complicate your life.
Yeah, we didn't took them L's for you, so you don't have to take them.
Thank you. But of course, they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. Of course they're not. No, Dad, you understand. You know,
man, hey, my nephews is listening. They listening.
Daddy.
My nephews is listening.
I ain't never good.
They is listening. They don't want. They say they never get married.
Man, you understand how good it makes you. I didn't even know something even invented to feel so good. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot more where that came from.
Yeah. Get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah.
Yeah. This portion of King David Superstore is brought to you in part by Diet Dr. Pepper. This portion of King David Superstore is brought to you in part by LaBerge Casino. Thank you for your money. And thank you for your money. If you don't drive a Ferrari, you ain't shit.
And man, if you like what you're hearing, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man, and tune in. And like we always say,
hit the like button, fool.
There we go.
The King David Super Show can be listened to on Spotify, SiriusXM, Stitcher, Google Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and many, many more to come.
Yes, sir.
This was not even our topic.
Hey, but it's still good.
And that's what I'm saying. But it's just like, man, don't get me started. So I'm like, with the thing is, like, you know, I mean, with the boy, you know, I'm talking with it, and I'm talking to his mother. We're driving by the refinery, and I'm like, look, if things don't work out, you know, and whatever you choose, whatever life that you choose, you could always work for me. I can teach you a footprint. It's unconventional, but it works. You know what I'm saying? And then, but more importantly, these are great stepping stones. You know what I'm saying? Because these are stable jobs that are going nowhere. Okay, you're not going to be automated out of business because these things are nonstop because they require a personal touch to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever. So the beauty of these situations is you're on a DuPont schedule. You're on a DuPont schedule, which means 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, which means you tell me what kind of job pays you $100,000 or more to only work 2 weeks out of the month.
Well, it's not.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's,
Maritime
you pretty much working 7 days every 2 weeks. 1 week you work 3 days, 1 week you work 4. And then once a month you get 7 days off in the road. They call it the long change because of how the schedule falls. You're gonna fall in a period where you're gonna be off Friday and come back to work that next Friday. And so you're working half the year and you're making 3 other people's income.
Yeah. And then the beauty of it is you have the opportunity, if you want to ride over for an extra week, you can get an entire week of overtime, which is, double time and a half. I mean, it's just ungodly amount of money. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, then you choose if you want to, take up you want to go back to school, you want to better yourself in whatever kind of way you want. These are just
you want to start a business.
Thank you.
Because that's what I did, man.
Yeah, most people that are in this line of work, they start buying real estate. They start buying things. They run out of shit to buy. If they haven't complicated their life, well, here's the thing. If they have not complicated their lives like that one gentleman who makes 5 figures a month who needs permission to buy a fucking hamburger, if you're not that guy, you know what I'm saying? Then you can actually, grow your life and do something great, But again, either A, the right people, or B, you test it out well and they hired the best. And that's what's going to end up happening. What's going to end up happening is these are very competitive jobs that once you're in, you either die out or you have to do something really stupid to get fired. You have to do something really, really stupid to get yourself fired. So these jobs are very, very demanding, but more importantly, they only want the best. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to deliver. You have to be able to deliver, and you have to be able to show aptitude and show that you actually want to be there, show that you're responsible, you can show up on time.
Just show up and learn the job. You ain't got to be the best, just know the job.
Yeah.
You know the job, you good. You know the job, you good. Because like I say, man, sometimes there's some people that's what they want their life to be. And that's all they know. They just, I'm going to be at this plant, that's it. But know your job, use that mug as a stepping stone. Like, I'll tell you what happened with me. I worked at a chemical plant. Me and one of the managers didn't get along. We bumped heads, and this is why we bumped heads. Okay, I did the job interview, and I cracked a bunch of jokes. I had everybody laughing and rolling at the job interview, so they hired me. I blew their tests out the water, everything, right? And so once I learned the job, I kind of just stayed to myself. I did my job. I had my own little area. I had my own little office. I had my own little area. I stayed over there, and I worked. I was getting upset that I wouldn't go over to the rest of the crew. I was like, man, I'm in my own little world. I'm knocking it out. So I see the manager. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? What happened with all the jokes and stuff? I say, man, I work here now. And I turned around and went back to my work. That pissed him off. After that, he kept trying to find ways to get me in trouble or trying to claim that I did something to get in trouble. He was trying to put imaginary stuff in my file. So something happened at the job and they tried to put it all on me. So I left that job, wrongful termination. They cut me a check. You know what I'm saying? And so one day I went to work. I was buddy with everybody. Cool. We know about each other's kids. We bringing cakes to work for people's birthdays. You know what I'm saying? We hanging out after work playing basketball. So one day I had a job and then the next day I didn't. You know? Yeah. So like I say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Use those jobs as a stepping stone. Start stepping out, taking risks, creating your own source of income. And so from that, I learned the lesson. I say, next time, I'm going to make sure I got something to fall back on for myself.
Yeah. You don't ever want to put too much power in somebody else's hands. Because,
exactly.
Because what ends up happening is people want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do what? Better than them. Yeah.
Bro, I had a manager who used to get upset because I was taking better vacations than him.
Yeah, man.
He was like, I'm paying you too much.
Yeah. Give an example.
You living better than me and I'm your boss.
I got a buddy of mine who's he was I think like a service manager at a car dealership.
Yeah.
And he started a food truck service. And I pulled him aside and I'm like, hey, bro, don't let them know you own it. I said this. I pulled him aside. I'm like, do not let these people know. Cause the thing is like, it was his call to bring in, to bring in catering. because they have to spend the money anyway. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they found out that he owned it, they felt some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? They kind of felt some kind of way. It's like, oh, we're paying you too much, this, that, and the other. And of course, exactly like what you said, when they kind of found out that, you know, he had the food truck going on and his numbers were good and this, that, and the other, they found out some way to get rid of him. He didn't last long after that.
Pull that plug.
Oh, yeah. So, and one thing that my grandmother told me, it's like, David, don't ever let your two worlds coincide. Don't ever let two worlds coincide, because one side's not going to like what the other side sees, or one person's always going to feel like, well, I'm paying you too much, or I'm giving you too much. Or it's like, I remember I'll never forget this. The day they terminated me from the radio station. I never forget this. I was driving my wife, the woman I married. I was driving my wife's car to work. My wife's car.
And what did she drive?
She had a drop-top BMW convertible. There was something wrong with my car, and she was out of town. I asked her, babe, can I borrow the car? And she's, because I never drive it, you know? And she's like, yeah, just take it, you know? So I drove the car to work. I had it for 2 days. And then word got around, I'm driving around in the drop-top BMW. Next thing you know, we're going to consolidate your position. Really? But at the same time, I was running a record label. Okay. This is when I put out my album. I was running a record label. I was kind of being the most, you know what I'm saying? I had the radio station job.
You were shining too hard, man. You were shining too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a problem with it. They had a problem. So the thing is like, you cannot let the world know what you have. Sometimes you got to dumb it down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I've learned from that is I would never put myself in somebody else's position to fuck my world up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That ain't happening. So if you want to shine and show your whole ass, then you got to be your own boss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to show your whole fucking ass, you got to be your own fucking boss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I show my whole ass now. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody tell me a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll stunt in the fucking casino at the same time because you can't do what I do. Good luck trying. You know what I'm saying? So that's the funny part. You'll have some people that are kind of in my surroundings that want to sit there and show up, and I'm like, show out.
Yeah,
I welcome it. You know what I'm saying? But there's only one me, and you can't do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's nothing wrong with kind of hanging out and this, that, and the other, but don't try to copy me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you try to copy me in this situation, you might get hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's only one me. So, but at the same, so, you know, long story short is like, you know what, if you want to show your whole fucking ass, you got to be your own boss.
Yeah.
And never, ever put yourself in a position where somebody holds the fucking strings that can control your life. You know what I'm saying? And if you know you're in that position, don't shine. Keep that shit to yourself. Keep your social media mute or have zero, or make sure you use an alternative name that nobody can find you on, because I'm telling you, their HR, they'll find you. Their HR will find you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They sure will.
They will fucking find you, and they will find out like what you think and this, that, and the other. Here's the sad part. And I said this on our very first episode.
Hey, I had a company tell me, they was like, hey, we know you a social media personality. Sitting in the meeting, I was like, you motherfuckers watching my movie.
Yeah, man. Yep.
We know you have a following. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like eventually, I don't know, if things kind of progress, you know, get well, people will probably end up being afraid of me. They'll probably try to cancel me because I just say exactly what I think. You know, I don't care, you know. And it's interesting, like I was
people only
you,
cancel you if you believe they can cancel you. That's it.
That's why you got to own your own platform. People can only cancel you if you have your own. They can only cancel you if you're under somebody else. So I'm a firm believer. You got to own your own shit. You got to own your own shit. So like right now we're on somebody else's shit, but eventually I'm gonna own my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't cancel me. You can't shut me up. You know, and we'll go over that later. You know, but more importantly, you never want to put yourself in a position where somebody can basically can destroy your livelihood because they feel some kind of way. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I've seen it with other people. I was actually talking to a woman in the casino. She was working in the damn
relationships.
So this woman came, I was having a conversation with her. I'm like, why are you here? And she was telling me that she was working at a auto dealership as like a finance manager. Okay. And she was working as a finance manager, and apparently her general manager had a thing for her. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so long story short, he blackballed her from ever being hired at any other place. She wanted to relocate to Houston from, I guess, from Lake Charles or from Beaumont or something like that, because her parents were sick and she was trying to relocate. Well, apparently he felt some kind of way because he had a thing for her and it was not reciprocated. So he blackballed her, in some type of, some type of data management system for the car dealership industry where she could never be hired. She was completely unhireable. And I'm like, okay, was there any kind of like recourse on this? And they're like, nope. So I'm like, let me get this straight. So you felt some kind of way. Now, of course, I'm only hearing one side of the story, but nobody should have that kind of power over somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Where, I had to, you know what? I've had this happen to me. Remember the shit? When I got out of the military, I was honorably discharged from the military. And when I got out, I had a commanding officer who felt some kind of way on my way out. Upon my departure, he put some shit in my service record that made me unhireable on the federal level. At the end, so the sad part was, or the fucked up part was, it's like, if I had more money at the time, I would have sued them. I would have sued the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying? But this was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So this person put some shit in my service record that made me unhireable on a federal level, which I had jobs, in the $1 million range, in the desert. Okay. So I had to sit there and hire these military attorneys to investigate what was in my service record to get it out. You know what I'm saying? Because they had no credible evidence on whatever the accused me of. You see what I'm saying? You can't be guilty until proven innocent. This isn't Bucharest. This is America. You know what I'm saying? So
but a lot of times in America, you're guilty till proven innocent.
Yeah, and that's the fucked up part. Where's my due process? Okay. So I went through the proper due process, you know what I'm saying? And whatever they accused me of was exonerated. Right? Wrong. Yeah. Well, whatever it was, I went to the top of, certain, entities, to investigate this. And they're like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit there and go through all this bullshit trying to get my security clearance fixed because they fucked up my security clearance. I was already hired. I already had tickets to Baghdad. I was already hired. I already sold my shit. I'm 2 weeks away from Baghdad. Helicopter from Dubai into Baghdad. You know what I'm saying? I was already hired. They already had a position for me, this, that, and the other. Said they're like, your security clearance is flagged. And apparently this commanding officer just had a problem with me for whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? I tell you one thing, motherfucker, wherever you are, you fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying? God don't sleep. And look at me now, you piece of shit. You could suck a big dick. You know Shots fired! Shots fired! You motherfucker. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, God don't sleep. Last I checked, I'm worth 7 figures. What the fuck are you worth? So, fuck are you worth, you piece of shit? So, but yeah. But more importantly, I was robbed of opportunity.
Yep.
And that's one thing you should never put yourself. You never want to put yourself in a position to be robbed of your opportunity.
And be compromised. Yeah.
Exactly. By somebody else because somebody feels some kind of way about you.
Yeah.
So I had somebody from a higher level who just did not like me, who went out of his way to basically pencil whip me in my service record, where there was no validity, baseless, nothing, the whole 9 yards. And here's the sad part. The sad part is these same motherfuckers tried to hire me as a civilian contractor. The same people who processed me out tried to hire me back to come and work for them. Make me understand that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, you better reinstate me back to where I am and then some, and then we'll have this conversation with full fucking benefits. I told him, I'm like, you better bring me back as an E9 with all the time lost, and then we'll talk. you will fucking announce me as Master Chief David Ali with X many years, and then we'll have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Of course not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, they wouldn't give me that satisfaction because they knew they were wrong.
Yeah.
They knew they were wrong. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you one thing though, God don't sleep. God don't sleep.
Bro, I tell you, man, when I was in Japan, and when I went out to Japan, I noticed it wasn't like hip hop was very popular, but it wasn't a lot of hip hop acts coming to Japan performing.
Right.
So while I'm out there, I say, shit, man, let me go make me 1 million yen. You know what I'm saying? So I got connected with some guys or some club promoters. We went to Tokyo District with Roppongi. Started going to the clubs, man. I MC'd, freestyle. I was going in the circles, man. Battle rapping people. And so word got out that, I could rap. So the club promoters, the Japanese club promoters wanted me to come out. They said, man, we're going to set you up with shows. We want you to come to all these clubs. I'm like, oh, yeah, man, the master plan finna go off. It's finna go off. I come back to work to the boat, and my chief, all the people coming up to me, man, they shaking my hand, giving me dap. Hey, twin, man, you cold, man. Swin, man, you cold, bro. I heard, man, you bad. He's like, man, why everybody keep coming up to you? And then he asked somebody, he's like, oh, man, Swin do music. Man, he jammed. Because somebody was playing some music I had made. I let them download some MP3s. At the time, man, iPods and Zoom and Microsoft Zooms was in. So they listened to my music. You see everybody keep coming up to me telling me my music jam. So word got to him that I'm supposed to be going out doing these club promotions and stuff and start doing shows.
Would they have you on duty or something like that?
Put me on a curfew, bro. Put me on a 6 o'clock curfew.
What kind of shit
6 p.m. curfew.
And what was their basis on that?
I couldn't lead the ship. They got me. They said because I went out in town and had a drink by myself, they used that to put me on restriction and then give me a 6 o'clock curfew.
Make me understand that shit.
I was on curfew from that time till I got out the military.
And how old were you?
I was 29 years old.
So make sense of that.
28, 29 years old. They put me on restriction, put me on curfew in September. I was supposed to re-enlist. I said, man, I'm done. I'm done with this. Yep. I got out in April. I was on curfew till April. And this is another thing they did. So usually, man, the military kind of like a regular job. At the end of the day, 2:30, 3 o'clock, right? Going about your business. They would make my division stay around to 5:55. Because in Japan, they used to do these things called Liberty plans. They give that to you once you got that piece of paper. You can go off the ship. You can go out of town. You can have your freedom, your liberty. They would hold my division so they can make them hate me. Pass out Liberty plans at 5:55, so I can only have 5 minutes of freedom to do whatever I need to do. Get off the boat, go buy what I needed, stuff like that. So they got to the point where the division was hating me. They said, man, if it wasn't for Swinton, man, we could get off like everybody else. We sticking around. It's a Friday, man. We stuck here till 6 o'clock.
Who was in charge of this shit? Who had a bone to pick with you?
I had this TMC, Torpedo Mate Chief. And they pulled that stunt, man.
Was he black or was he white?
Nah, he wasn't. I was a sonar tech, man. Sonar is a predominantly white rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he just had a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question. So where do you think that all started, though? Did you ever get into it with him? And, when you got on board the ship, or was was it one of them dudes that just didn't want to go home? Because you had the USS I ain't never going home. That motherfucker. That was my commanding officer. This dude refused to let us go. Oh,
man, dude. You got some people. You got some people,
this
man.
Motherfucker. Once you saw his wife, you're like, all right. I know why this motherfucker.
I get why he act like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. He's getting
this cat wasn't like that.
He
had a pretty Japanese wife, but she pretty much ran everything. But some people are upset that if you have other talents outside of the military, they act like the military should be your whole life.
Yeah, I've been around.
And that's all you should be worried about. It bothered him that I had a talent outside the military, and I was getting praised for it.
You know what's funny? When I first entered the military, it did not, it couldn't compute with me on how little amount of money I made. I went from, selling albums in record stores, working at the radio station and DJing clubs. Okay. So I've always, I had a condo when I was 19 years old. I had a condo, I had a BMW, I had my other car, and I had a living girlfriend. I had everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I was fucking 19 making big boy money. Yeah. So, that did not sit well with me from going to that to making like nothing, like $400 a week. You see what I'm saying? So I always, a day. Yeah, I was making fucking nothing. I think it was like $400 a week when it was all said and done. So I'm like, I got to figure something out. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I started like creating I started very creative finance. I could definitely say when I got into the service, when I was in A school for the first 2 years, I found out ways to make money with cell phones and cigarettes and fucking small short-term loans, this, that, and the other. They had a problem with that. I was making more money doing short-term loans, hustle loans, cell phones, cigarettes, you name it. I did this when I first fucking started. I had this fucking like a little list like this. And I discovered that everybody had a smoking addiction. Oh my God. People were just smoking like chimneys. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? And the crazy part was everything was closed after 10 o'clock. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start selling cigarettes. So I started selling. I used to go to the Indian reservation. I will go buy cartons of cigarettes, be walking around like Moses with 2 stone tablets. I had the cowboy killers for the white boys and the menthouts for the black boys. You know what I'm saying?
I smoke Marlboros because I'll be here tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, man. So literally, so this was my payment standard. So it was $4 for a pack of cigarettes on regular time, 5 o'clock after 10 p.m. and 6 o'clock on credit. I'm sorry, $6 on credit. So then I got so gangster with it, I started advertising, printing flyers called Coconut Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Coconut Smoke. So anytime they would fucking buy a pack of cigarettes from me after hours, I would give them a soda and a fucking smoke. I would get from the LPO, fucking shift supervisor. Everybody knew about me. He's like, man, Coconut Smoke, come on. And then I started giving them fucking Coconut Smoke and Little Debbie snack cakes. I was just fucking reward. I would stay on duty. I would not
military
even
Happy Meal.
Oh, bro, them motherfuckers love me. So when I was in school, I was in NIDA. I was in self-paced school. So you're supposed to technically graduate in 6 weeks. I think I graduated 15 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm making money. So I prolonged my fucking 6-week course to 15 weeks. And they're like, you're supposed to graduate, right? If you don't graduate this week, we're going to kick you out. So I purposely I was going at a snail's pace. Because I was making so much goddamn. I think I was making like $4,000 a week.
Yeah, holding on.
I went from making $400 a week to $4,000 a week, and I'm like, this is right. There we go. I was making about $12,000-$15,000 a month. Yeah, and I was just hustling it up in the fucking clubs and in the casinos out there in Chicago. I loved it. I had a girlfriend out in town. I had girls that was working at the Crazy Horse, and I had girls out in town. I could afford all that. Remember? I had limousines. I literally have fucking limousines picking me up. And here's the thing. When you're in A school, you're not allowed to leave the city. I was leaving the state. I had flights. I literally was purposely I would do sick call on Friday. I would have a flight from Chicago O'Hare back to Houston. I was in Houston ready for the club, DJing at the club on Friday night at the Downtown Cavern at Friday night, DJing at the club. Like, I'm not on special liberty. I'm not even supposed to be there.
Not on leave. He's just there.
I'm not even on leave. I had a limousine take me straight, from the barracks. I had a fucking super stretched limousine picking me up from the fucking barracks at 9 a.m. Take me to Chicago O'Hare. Caught the fucking connection from O'Hare to Houston. Landed 11:30 at my house at 12 o'clock. Ready for? I already called the radio station. Radio station already knew I was there. Getting ready to DJ at the club at 10 p.m. Did my set. Did what I did, hooked up with whoever I was hooking up with that night at the butt naked. What was that? The fucking we were at Scores. We were at Scores, and then we're at Cornbreads until fucking 8 in the morning. And then that following day, back on the plane, back to fucking Chicago, like nothing fucking ever happens. Like, what you doing?
I remember, man, because I called you and I said, man, how's it out there, bro? He's like, man, I'm out here, man. Shit, I'm a loan shark.
Yep.
He said, I'm making the killing, bro.
I'm like, yeah, I'm making more money, fucking hustling, fucking low. Because here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, according to the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, it is illegal to write a bad check.
Yeah.
It is illegal to write a bad check. So I would basically write in the form, of a loan that you were loaned XYZ. So, for example, if I loaned you $100, I loaned you $200. You signed it, you made it legal. So the crazy thing is, in Chicago, they do the same thing. In the state of Illinois, there is no consumer protection laws in Illinois. So I'm like, why am I going to let these? Because there's payday loans. In all military towns, they have these payday loans. You know what I'm saying? So the concept is no different. How come they can capitalize and how come I can't? You signed it, you made it legal. So I'm like, I started like loaning money from either like $100, to $200 to $500 to $1,000. So the thing was, I own motherfuckers. I had people that I just owned them. So for you to get out from under my clenches, you would have to go 2 paydays. You would have to go 2 paydays to get out from under my clenches. You see what I'm saying? Which means I owned your ass. So if I owned you on the first, that means you would have to wait till the first to get out from under my clenches from the first. You know what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is if I owned you on the first, that means I own you on the 15th because you already broke. So it was an ongoing cycle. And I had people, I owned them and I owned them and I owned them. Oh, it was golden. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, then you always had to make an example of one of them. You're always going to have one that ain't going to want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I'm like, all right, man. So if I loaned you the money, I took his fucking ATM card.
Yeah.
I'll go out and take it myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I always knew a motherfucker was going to try to get slick with me. So I'm like, nope, I took the bitch out myself. I'm like, here's your card back. There's $30 left to your name.
Now what we telling y'all, man, we telling y'all real life experiences.
Thinking outside, I had to think outside
the box and while in the military. We telling you what really goes on. Because we're operating inside the rules. Yeah. And I'll tell you a story. Now I'll tell you a story. Okay, too. In the military, you stay in duty, which is watch. You're in duty section. Sometimes it's 4-section duty, 8-section duty. So every 4 days, you got to stay in duty. You got to be on the boat for 24 hours. Standing watches. That means you checking IDs of people coming on. You're raising the flags, all kind of stuff. You're lowering the flags.
You're securing the location. You're securing
you're checking IDs. You're assigned to you're doing so. You got it when you got duty. You cannot leave the boat that day. You're stuck on the boat for 24 hours.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
But you got to be qualified on certain watches. You got the officer of the deck, the messenger of the deck. Messenger, the petty officer to watch. But if somebody has the same qualifications as you, they can stand your duty for you. You fill out a duty swap shit, and if y'all got the same qualifications, his duty section leader signs off on it. Your duty section leader signs off on it. That person can stand your watch because they qualified on it.
That's right. No harm, no foul.
I'm operating inside the rules. I know the rules. So. I started paying people to stand duty for me. So they was like, I said, man, hey, they got this event going on. I really want to go to it. Hey, man, you qualified on this, man. You stand and watch for me? They be like, yeah. I said, man, I'll give you $50. All right, man, I stand in duty for you. They fill the paperwork out. We take it to our superiors. They sign it. Duty day come, I'm off the boat. That person standing there for me for 24 hours because they pay you just enough to survive. So that $50 mean the world to this person.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So every duty day, I wasn't standing duty because I had somebody standing for me. I was paying people to take my duty for me. So I was free all the time. I never stood duty. But I'm operating within the rules.
Yep.
You know? So one dude came down, and this is the truth, man, because there's gangs in the military and there's junkies in the military. So I'm gonna tell you this. One of the guys that was on the ship with me, he was a big cocaine dealer. He was clicked in with Yakuza. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a regular dude, country bumpkin, but this dude was one of the biggest cocaine dealers in Tokyo. Right?
Yeah.
So there was guys on the ship that was addicted to cocaine. Oh, yeah. One of them happened to be in my division. So he used to come to me, he would blow all his money on drugs. He would with me and I always stand my watches. I give him $50. He stand my watches for me because he was broke, he needed money, and he was trying to get high. You know? Yeah. So he was like, hey, man, He's like, man, they're getting on me, man. They're getting on me. Cause I'm sending all these watches for you.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, bro, I give you $75. All right. Cool. So he take it. So word got out that I was paying people to stand watches. I had a line of people coming to stand duty for me to make extra money. Yeah. So I was never standing duty. It got to the point to where they was like, nobody could stand duty for Swinton. Nobody's allowed to stand duty for Swinton anymore. He's gonna stand his own watches. You know? Funny. But I was just operating within the rules. It doesn't make me a bad guy. I just use it to my advantage.
I used to pay people when we were in Liberty ports, especially Liberty ports, because I love Liberty ports. We pulled into Panama. We pulled into Panama, and there was this one dude, actually the same dude. I paid this one dude basically. Just we pulled into Panama. I'm like, look, we're only gonna be here for a couple of days, so I knew some people that needed money, so I just paid them like $100 for that day. I'm like, look, just stand my duty for this day. Pay him $100 because Liberty ports are Liberty ports. You know what I'm saying? And those are priceless. I'm like, you can't put a dollar amount on the days you get a Liberty port. Yeah. So anyway, so we're out there just acting a fucking fool out in town, and then just like what tswin was saying is like, there's a lot of junkies in the military, but there's gangs in the military at the same time. And they had dudes, when we pulled into Panama, they had dudes over here bringing bricks of cocaine back on the ship. You know what I'm saying? They're like big time drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? And they had dudes that basically, the sad part is like when they finally get caught, they want to bring everybody down with them. They try to sit there and blame people for shit that they didn't do, this, that, and the other, because they're trying to take a lesser sentence. They don't want to go to Leavenworth, this, that, and the other. So there's a lot of dirty shit that goes on. You know what I'm saying? It comes and it's from the top all the way down.
Oh, you know whole command.
And they want to try to protect people, and they also want to throw people under the bus to protect people. So
prostitution rings, drug rings, everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We just giving y'all the real.
Yeah. I mean, we knew about it. We just didn't get involved. You know what I'm saying? I knew about it. I'm like, and I knew like one of my section leaders. You know what I'm saying? Big time dope guy. Big dope guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say when and I'm not gonna say where, but he was a big time dope guy. I knew what he was involved in. I'm like, I can't, I can't hang with you. You know what I'm saying? He was fun. He was fun in the casino. He was always having money. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of where it was weird. It's like, dude, where's all this money coming from? Because we be in the casino and this dude is like an E5, had more money than everybody on the ship.
Yeah.
Had more money than everybody. I mean, you think I gamble now? This motherfucker's like, he was like me back then. You know what I'm saying? He's like, the way I got money now, back then. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and everybody just kind of wanted to know who he was. Like, where's all this shit coming from? He would kind of hide it like as a front, like he was, hustling the casinos. You know what I'm saying? Nah. One day it all came out. One day it all came loose, and I'm like, okay, I saw some shit. I'm like, I know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the end of it, because it's like, I'm not trying to get involved in this bullshit. Shortly afterwards, there was blowback. He got thrown out of the military. He ended up actually getting thrown into Leavenworth. They put his ass in Leavenworth, and they put everybody that was kind of above him into Leavenworth. So,
wow,
yeah, bad shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, like I say, man, we tell y'all these experiences. Like I say, I've been around real gangsters and mobsters while in the military. People in secret societies, all kind of stuff. Like, because I knew this cat, I was hanging with Yakuza. We go to Tokyo and I'm getting into places because the dude thought he was cool with me. So he would open up. A lot of times, people get alcohol in their system, they open up and tell their story. And so he thought I was a cool individual. So, man, come on in here, man. So I'm having drinks and taking shots with the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, we just giving y'all the real. Giving y'all the real.
Man. I don't know how we got on this topic, but yeah, man. But
the streets is the streets.
Yeah. Cold in them streets.
Whether you in uniform or not, the streets is the streets.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take
humans.
Humans
were human.
You can't take the streets out of people. You know what I'm saying? You could change your zip code, you could change your location, but you can't take that. You can't take what's in somebody out of them. You know what I'm saying? They are who they are. And it will follow you for the rest of your life. So it's like, you got to make, like I was saying earlier, it's like the decisions you make now will dictate your future. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you got to make sure that you make the right decisions now, so it doesn't put you in a position where you're forced to do shit work. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do street life, fine, stay in that street life. But if you get into street life and then you have to serve, you have to serve time because of that, you're gonna have a very hard,
And
exit
see,
clause.
this is one thing that people don't. This is one thing that people don't know. Okay, when you get in trouble and you break the law, so you committed a major crime, and you're in the military. If you committed a crime out in the civilian world, you're gonna get time with the military, and then when you complete your time with the military, you're gonna do time in civilian, criminal system.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, you're double penalized.
Yeah, because some people think because they're in the military, they're gonna get saved. Oh, the military gonna get me. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be over here.
Back in the day, it used to be that way. Maybe in the 80s, in the early 90s, it was that way. They kind of handled things, they handled things quietly. But if they're like liberty incidents and this, that, and the other, but if you're out there doing dirt, doing felonies and shit like that, nah, they're gonna burn your ass.
They're gonna pull you. They're gonna get your punishment with them. Then when they done with you and you get kicked out, they're gonna give you to the law, and then you're gonna do your time with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Was that a service member that got caned in Singapore? Was that a civilian?
That was a civilian. He was a civilian. He broke the law. He did something stupid. He broke the law and he got caned. But that's the rules over there. We don't have an agreement with all countries. So if you break the law in their country, you will get punished by that law.
It's kind of like that shit that happened with that
Brittany Griner.
that WNBA player, bringing the drugs into Russia. And it's like, I don't understand all the blowback. You broke the law in a foreign country. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some places in the world you can't show public displays of affection.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Women can't dress a certain way. Nope. That's their rules. That's their country. And when you're in their country, you got to go by their rules. Like they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yep.
CYA, cover your ass.
Yep.
When you get back your stomping grounds, do that bullshit.
You do what you do. Yeah, you do what you do in your home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of getting back to the original topic is like, you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where somebody else can control your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever want to put yourself in the position to do that unless you just have something to prove, and you have something to prove, you got to be your own boss, period. You know what I'm saying? And even when you're even then, when you're your own boss, when you are your own person, you have to kind of like show some type of maturity where you have to realize it's like, look, I don't have anything to prove anymore. Some people, like in the very beginning, when they start to experience success, I went through it, you kind of want to show your ass, I didn't buy one Benz. I bought two Benzes, you know what I'm saying? And they were the same color, so it's like, I just, when it's kind of like when you first get your rapper deal, you buy your rapper chains, you buy the car and you buy a house, and now you're broke, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so it's like at the end of the day, people still don't like you. You know what I'm saying? People still don't like you. When the money comes the first time, it's like, okay, you do all these things and you kind of feel some kind of way and you kind of make up for lost time or whatever it is. You're filling voids is what you're doing. You're really kind of filling voids with things. You know what I'm saying? And it's meaningless. And it's like, you just wasted all this fucking money, and you have nothing to show for it. People still don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And, whatever validation that you got it's depreciating. You have what's called depreciating validation, So, as you get older, when you're kind of like more my age, you start to realize it's like, look, I don't really have shit to prove anymore. I still drive the same car. Yeah, I can go buy that sports car if I really need it, if I really want it, but I don't have nothing to prove anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I see people like on my Facebook that are just all over the fucking place. Like, I got to be this and I got to be the best that and this and that. I'm like, God
Instagram.
damn.
It's nothing for the gram.
Oh, dude. It's like sometimes I got to like, I don't say much, but when I do, it's like, God damn, dude. I'm like, look, you're going to have a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all this shit. And I'm like, dude, slow the fuck down. All right. Number one, it's like, it's not who you're competing against.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's at the end of the day, it's like you're competing with a ghost. You know what I'm saying? And and you're talking to the number one, you're talking to fucking Maverick. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about competing against a ghost, that would be I. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally fucking guilty of this shit. it's like sometimes you kind of get your engine so fired up that you kind of lose sight of the big picture on why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you got to remind yourself, why am I even involved in this shit? Because what ends up happening is the worst thing you can do is be so caught up in what other people and all the superficial shit that other people think and feel and whatever to validate who you allegedly are supposed to be in life. You're going to burn yourself out. You know what I'm saying? For like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. It's not that important. You know what I'm saying? So whether I have one viewer or a million viewers, I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? I do this because I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do because I enjoy it and I'm good at it. You know, and if it goes any further, more power to you. And inshallah, you know, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it's meant to work, you know, you cannot run from your destiny. You are who you are who you are supposed to be when you're supposed to be, when you're meant to be. Okay. You can't short sight it. You can't bring it any sooner and it can't come any later. You're going to experience a bump in the road that's going to put you there at the right time when it's ready, when you're mature enough to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? I don't need a million houses. I don't need a million likes. I don't need a million followers. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. The King's Thought of the Day Uncensored. I am the king. You know what? We didn't even script this shit. Our episode is why are you taking scores? We're not even doing it. You know what I'm saying? We started talking about life and I'm like, you know what? I always tell tswin, I'm like, look, I can't do it. I said that earlier. I'm like, bro, I can't redo episode 9. It's not organic. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was what it was. We talked about Mum Ra and we talked about cartoons and this, that, and the other. It was great. You know what I'm saying? We had technical difficulties and it just, I can't redo it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be organic. It's got to be fresh out of my mind. We can talk about it. And if you could attest to how we feel, this show is for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to sugarcoat shit. And we don't sugarcoat nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if this helps you, more power to you. This portion of the King's this portion of the King Shavers, we're going to say this again. 3, 2, 1. This portion of the King David Super Show is brought to you in part by Diet Dr. Pepper when you just need more. The show can be listened to on SiriusXM, Spotify, Google Music, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Audible, Amazon Music, blah, 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 blah. You know the rest. You know, and if you like what Pandora, and if you like what you hear, check us out.
Hit the like button, fool.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you like what you hear, check us out. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to comment. You know, if you have any topics that you'd like to discuss, welcome it. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, I mean, we do this for you. You know what I'm saying? If we can help, if we or I can help anybody, if this resonates with anybody, you know, we're talking to you. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bashing the military.
No,
I am not. I would do it again. Okay. It was just an experience. The only thing that the military teaches you is it teaches you 2 things: accountability and life ain't fair. And how to work, actually 3 things: accountability, life ain't fair, and how to work with others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They teach you how to adapt too quickly.
Yeah. So
because shit changes every day.
My military experience back for 0. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Okay. I would just be better at what I did. I would have applied myself, you know, more thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what I know now, I would probably be a fucking command master chief right now, you know, or I would be, you know, I would definitely be a CMC, you know, because I'm a people person. I care about my command. I care about my shipmates. At the same time, I would weed out the bad ones. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a damn good leader and I can learn. I learn well, you know, it would have been a good career for me. It's just, you know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah. It wasn't in the cards.
That's
how I look at it, man.
I don't take it back.
Like I say, I don't regret my time there. I did 10 years. I don't regret it. And I met some good people. I met some people. They're gonna be my Navy brothers for life. We still keep in contact. We call them shipmates.
Yep.
And man,
shipmates for life.
Some commands had some fucked up people, but there were some good people there, and made a lot of brothers and some good memories. There was some bad stuff that happened, but there was some really good memories. I enjoyed it. I traveled the world.
Yep.
And I got to do things some people would never ever get to do in their whole lives.
Yep. What was your favorite port?
Brazil.
Ooh,
Brazil.
Brazil.
That's it,
I'm gonna have to
man.
say my favorite Liberty port.
They had to grab me and pull me back on the bus because I wasn't trying to come back.
I'm gonna say probably Rodman, Panama, or Canada.
Oh yeah.
We were actually out there in the Puget Sound, out there in Bangor, Washington, where all the nuclear subs were, and we were mapping the ocean floor. We actually pulled into Costa Rica too, and some whales washed ashore, and they blamed us for it. So they canceled our operations out there. So we went up into Canada, and then we came back down into Costa Rica, went through the Panama Canal, which was really interesting. And it's crazy. You have to pay cash money to go through the Panama Canal. I don't know if they did that with your ship, but with ours.
Man, I've been through the Panama Canal.
They board your vessel and they pull you through these locks. And I've
been through that like probably 10 times, man. I've been through the Panama Canal like probably 10 times. I've been to Panama so many times, it's ridiculous.
You know how much we had to pay? Well, I don't know. We had to pay, I think it was $1 million in cash to go through the Panama Canal.
And then you have to have armed guards because they got their guys. Your vessel.
They have their guys searching your vessel for drugs.
They got their guys standing up on the land as you're passing through the Panama Canal with guns. So we got our guys with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they do, if you've never been through the Panama Canal, it's like they have these walls. So they let your boat come in, and then this wall will come up, and then another wall will come up behind you. And then the wall in front of you, they'll fill it up with water.
You rise.
And then that wall will drop, and then your boat goes through to that next section. So they're pulling you with these chains.
Chains with these
to each section.
Yeah.
So it's a long evolution.
6 hours. It took us about 6 hours to go through.
It's interesting. But yeah, man, Panama was dope.
I loved it there. I love Panama.
But my favorite place out of mine was, man, I've been all over South America. Man, Brazil, man. São Paulo,
we need to make
Rio,
a trip.
Salvador, Brazil.
We need to make a trip of that. So like, because we booked a flight actually to Colombia, and I got sick. I had like the worst. Oh my God, dude! I had the worst vertigo in my life. Like I thought I was dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize what it was. Like I lost all of my my center of gravity, my balance, my everything. Like literally, my eyes were doing this. My eyes were doing this. My world was doing this. You know what I'm saying?
After he caught vertigo, I caught COVID.
Trip. Yeah. So the trip is paid for. That's the crazy part. It's fucking paid for. So I have 1 year to reuse this voucher. So it's like either we're going to go to Colombia or we'll go to Brazil. You know?
So you'll be seeing the King's Thought of the Day.
Yeah, we're going to do Passport Bros. Yeah, we're going to do Passport Bros Part 2 abroad on location. And on that note, peace, love, and hair grease, motherfuckers. Peace out, nigga. You got any music for us?
Let's see, man. What we feel like rocking with today, man? Let's see.
Yeah, my favorite song is Boston.
Oh, let's get some Boston on, man. Let's go.
Song.
Shit, girl. I'm my own boss. So nobody tell me what to do. I boss myself around. Yeah. T-Swin. Fuck your dress code, I'm my own boss. I get the fruits of my labor cause I paid the cost. Fuck your schedule, I'm my own boss. Open up my eyes and I decide when I leave the house. Fuck your dress code, I'm my own boss. I get the fruits of my labor cause I paid the cost. Fuck your schedule, I'm my own boss. Open up my eyes and I decide when I leave the house. I can wake up at 6, 7, or even 11. I put my money on me. You gave your cash to the ribbon. Hell nah, I'm no felon. I just wanted my freedom. I took a look in the mirror and realized I don't need it. Employee of the month, never. I'm gonna die if I stay here. They look me in my eye and tell a lie every day here. Treat me like a peasant, then give me a 20-cent raise and expect for me to act like it's a present. She sleeping with the boss, he getting high up in the parking lot. Billy like the snitch, and this one here, he like the bark a lot. The chemicals and labor be messing with my physical. You ever pull up to the job and start feeling miserable? That's a sign grind, and your mind is really telling you to dip. Better have your life raft and do the math to jump ship. I took the juice and got the bouncing like a rubber ball. Y'all can take these boosters, hard hat, and these coveralls. Fuck y'all. Fuck your dress code, I'm my own boss. I get the fruits of my labor cause I pay the cost. Fuck your schedule, I'm my own boss. Open up my eyes and I decide when I leave the house. Fuck your dress code, I'm my own boss. I get the fruits of my labor cause I pay the cost. Fuck your schedule, I'm my own boss. Open up my eyes and I decide when I leave the house.
That's what the song is about.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
I mean, that's that. It's basically the whole topic of this whole thing. It's like you cannot allow in the song. The whole purpose of bossing is like you have to. Sometimes you just kind of have to take yourself out of this position where somebody can dictate your livelihood. If somebody just doesn't like you, it should never be. You should never be put in a position where somebody who just doesn't like you can fuck up your whole livelihood just because I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically pretty much exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what you were doing your music, you were working at the plant, and you started your business. You started your own private business in the transportation business.
Yes,
they was
sir.
feeling some kind of way.
Shoot, man, I left on good terms, man. They never saw it coming. But I learned from my earlier situation that you need to have something for yourself. You need to have something that you can fall on for yourself in case they pull the rug from up under you.
You'll be ready for it.
So whatever talent you got, see if that talent people pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever hobby you got, see if people pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Invest in yourself.
This is kind of important.
What we're doing right now, we investing in ourselves.
Exactly. This is really important right here. So people always ask, like, how much money do you need to make for you to quit your day job? 3 times. So whatever you make at your day job, if you can make 3 times your earning capacity, if you can make that, it's time to leave. You know, and I kind of knew that, like, you know, when I quit, you know, the regular world, when I gave up on the real world, and I started to realize, I'm like, you know what? I can never work for anybody else. Nobody will ever pay me what I'm worth. You understand what I'm saying? And I can literally just make money working for myself, and I'm happy, and can't nobody tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I do what I want, when I want, however I want. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm not saying that. And that is the reality of things. I get up when I want, and I do what I want. I travel when I want. That's the whole purpose of being your own person. Now, at the same time, nobody's going to work harder than you, and nobody's going to tell you to get up, and nobody's going to tell you, you know, hey, you know, rent is due. You have to sit there and figure out a way, how am I going to be able to take care of this? The beauty of working for yourself is there's no ceilings. There's no ceilings, but at the same time, that reality, that floor, that shit is real. And it's cold out there outside. You know what I'm saying? Food for thought.
And another thing too is when you work for somebody, you just work those set hours. You go in, you work your 9 to 5, you go home. When you're an entrepreneur, it ain't like that. You're working all around the clock.
You're going to put in more time than you've ever imagined.
You are the business. And nobody's going to care about your business like you care about it.
Exactly. And not everybody's going to, exactly. Nobody's going to value, you know, the work that you put into something. So you're only as good as the, you know, what you put into it, and your reputation is everything. When you start a business, you're only as good as the last thing you've done. You know what I'm saying? So you can never allow anybody to tarnish your reputation. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you hire people that don't want to be there, this, that, and the other. That's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? You know, being a boss, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I wish I could just throw the fucking keys in. I'm like, man, I don't want this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the boss, you know, you deal with everything. When things are good, things are great. But when things are bad, you're the one who has to sit there and make these decisions. You have, you know, you have to pay these taxes, and you have to pay this payroll, and you have to pay all these fees and fines and this and that, and listen to this bullshit and referee all this bullshit. It's like, oh my God, you know, when it's good, it's great.
You got to pull back on this so you can supply this demand. Yeah, and it'll test.
It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. You know what I'm saying? Because it's inescapable. You know what I'm saying? So just I would just say this, just you know, it takes a certain kind of person, you know, to be self-made, but it takes a bigger person to, you know, to allow it to continue. You know what I'm saying? Where you can truly and honestly build something and build a you know, a legacy. You know what I'm saying? that requires somebody who doesn't quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Some people make it look easy, but they're not there they're not there the nights you slept in your car. They're not there the nights you lost everything. They're not there. They're only there to cheer you on when things are great, but they're not there. They're fair weather. You know what I'm saying? So just be very careful. Be mindful of the company that you carry, and be mindful of the shit that you tell people. You know what I'm saying? When you're in pursuit, and as you are pursuing, or after you have accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody wants to see you do good. There's a lot of people that want to see you do bad, but they're the main ones in your ear talking about, oh yeah, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Fucking Judas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna kind of leave it on that. You know what I'm saying?
And also too, man, you can't be afraid to fail.
No.
You can't be afraid to fail. Everything is not gonna be perfect. You will fail.
It's never perfect.
You will bump your head. There will be hiccups.
Everything is
slip
trial.
Ups, there'll be trips.
It is trial by fire.
So even if you fail, it's a lesson. You'll know what to do next time. Okay, all right, I messed up in that step. All right, boom, I won't do that. I'm doing it again. All right, I got to this step. Boom, man, I failed again. All right, boom. You're going to figure out your plan. You know what I'm saying?
And it's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. It's always going to be expensive. It's always going to be expensive, but there's always a way. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a way.
Yeah.
You got to just make it happen, or get out of the business.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses.
And another thing about that too, that knowledge that you gain, you can become a consultant to somebody else. You still can get paid for your knowledge.
It dies with me. Fuck that.
You don't have to give people all the game.
They get nothing.
You have to give them all the game.
Nathaniel, nada.
You hold on to some of it so they keep coming back.
Kiss my ass. It dies with me.
But you gain this knowledge. You don't have to give them all the game. But now you got another way to make money where you're not physically putting yourself in harm's way or spending your time doing something. You control your schedule.
Tswin is the bigger person. I am petty. It dies with me. He gets nothing. He gets nada. You can watch me shine from the gun tower. So,
but yeah.
No, they weren't on. They weren't out there on the basketball. They weren't on the basketball court out there shooting hoops with me. They weren't there. They weren't in there shooting with me in the gym. No,
that's why there's levels to it.
No,
that's why there's levels to it.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. Don't ever compare your chapter 12 to somebody else's chapter. Okay, you cannot compare your chapter 4 to my chapter 12. Okay, there's levels to the shit. Okay, so the problem is you have people that think that they could skip steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a problem with people like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you didn't pay your dues, or if we're not on the same level, then don't expect me to sit here and give you all this fucking game, because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You need to pay your dues and you need to earn your stripes like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I kind of feel that we're on the same scale, then we'll have that discussion. But you have a lot of people that sit there and say, hey, how'd you do it? Blah, 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 blah. And they get mad at you when I'm like, look, you need to pay your dues. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem that I have with this useless society today. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to skip the steps, and they feel like that they're entitled to not have to go through pitfalls and fail. And this, that, and the other. Like tswin says, I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to gamble on myself because I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have what I have, is because I'm not a quitter. Anybody else would have shot themselves. They would have they would have been like, done, game, set, match. They would have shot themselves. I've been through some very horrible, horrible realities. You know what I'm saying? I've been through things that, most people could not survive. I've lost more than you could ever imagine in family, people, things, money, you name it. I've lost everything more than once. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a firm believer that there is a higher being, and the reason why we kind of go through this is because it's like this. It gets bigger. It's bigger. The more you lose, the more you gain. The more you lose, the more you gain. The more you lose, the more you appreciate. You kind of see what I'm saying? So it's like this, You know what I'm saying? That's life. That's the way life works. I'm not going to allow, so some people kind of feel like they deserve to be from here to here. No, it don't work like that. You got to go here and here and here and here and here and here. You got to go through a process. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you won't appreciate anything. You're not going to appreciate the good. When things are good, you're not going to be able to survive the bad. If everything is good, like they say, good lives make weak men. You understand what I'm saying? Trial, people only learn from trauma. Otherwise, you're entitled. So if you don't go through the bad, you're not going to appreciate the good. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be a shitty teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because you're only teaching best case scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why do you think most fucking instructors in college drive shitty ass cars? Why do you think college professors don't have shit? Is because they're teaching best case scenarios. They're not teaching worst case scenarios. They're not. It's like they're only grooming you for only half truth. You know what I'm saying?
It's like somebody giving marriage counseling that's never been married.
Exactly. I can't take advice from somebody who has no credibility to give it. You know what I'm saying? Why do you have fat people teaching yoga? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sorry. So it's like, you got to have credibility. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't listen to you. If we're not on the same level, I can't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some kind of credibility or I can't listen to you. Period. You know what I'm saying? So just don't take advice from people that have not done it. But it was interesting. These CEOs, the CEOs, when they go through the vetting process, the people that they pick, the people that failed. They pick the people that failed and they want to know how they got back. How did you recover? They don't want somebody who just makes numbers. How did you recover this failure during the crash of this? How did you survive during this? I want to understand how you think outside the box. How did you continue to survive? Those are the people I want. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people you want. You want people that are scrappers, people that they got that dog in them. You know what I'm saying? The people that I want around me at all times is the people that got that dog in them. Those are the people I'll fucking talk to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk to somebody who came from everything. You know what I'm saying? Who had the silver spoon in their mouth, who always had everything, and they don't understand what sleeping in their car is like. Who don't understand what top ramen tastes like. Who don't understand what fucking eating sardines is like. Or actually just not eating at all, or just learning how to kind of make shit happen. I can't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we don't come from the same world. So you got to have that fucking dog in you, that survival instinct in you, where failure is not an option. Those are the people that fucking survive. The people that become billionaires are the people that come from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They come from nothing. The people that they called you crazy. Oh, he's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? No, he just believed in himself and he was willing to fucking sink the ship. I'm willing to sink the ship and risk it all because I believe in myself and I believe in my product. I believe in what I'm doing.
And like they say, man, you're crazy until you do it.
Exactly. You're crazy until you succeed.
And you
look at Kanye West.
And
they called him crazy.
And then it becomes normal. It becomes accepted. It becomes normal. But all your geniuses were called crazy at one point in time.
Kanye West, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates. So,
Now you talking about these. We talking about these hard times, bro. And there was one point where when I had got in trouble for having that drink by myself, they were deciding whether they was gonna give me a restriction or put me in the brig. So if anybody knows about the brig, it's 3 days bread and water. They decided not to give me the brig because that was too easy for me. I grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? That was days. That was days where all we had was bread. And down south, they got syrup sandwiches. Put some syrup on the sandwich and eat it. 2 slices of bread, mayonnaise, ketchup sandwiches, and just water, tap water. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't give me the bread because that was too easy for me. That's too easy for me. That wasn't gonna break me.
No. Yeah. But they always so the thing is, people like that, they want to break your spirit. They, so that's kind of the main thing. It's like, when you're around people that that are trying to destroy you, they're trying to destroy your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because you possess something that they don't have and they'll never have. So you could take everything away from me because I've lost everything. You know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna end this, but fuck it. Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. Round two. I've been around people the majority of my life that were jealous of my spirit because I always spoke out what I wanted into the universe. I'm like, I want to work around this person. And it happened. I'm not exaggerating. I said, I'm going to work around this person, and it fucking happened.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be this. It happened. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, but it eventually happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I said I wanted to make $1 million, eventually it happened. It didn't happen the way that I wanted it to happen, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? And then once you kind of achieve it, it's like, doesn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? When I made my first 6 figures, you know what I'm saying? I did it. And then I did it and I doubled it 6 months later. I'm like, wow, is that easy? You know what I'm saying? So you start to realize it's like, you know, once you kind of accomplish things, it's like once you kind of set your mind to things, you can do anything you want. Once you kind of set your mind to it, you just kind of have to figure out an algorithm on how, okay, I can do this. I can repeat this 8 or 9 times and I'll hit that figure. And then, so once you've kind of finally kind of figure out that money is not real, it's just a utility, you kind of like have to kind of take a step back and kind of like see the people that idolize money. And I keep my distance from them because these same people will sell me out. They'll sell their souls. They'll sell their souls to the devil
for a payday.
For a payday. And these are the people I want to steer clear of. I'm like, I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I work for money because money is a utility, but I don't worship money. You know what I'm saying? And once I've learned how to kind of figure out how to maneuver and kind of make it work, you know, and kind of how to make it go from here to there, you know what I'm saying? I don't worry about it anymore. I just live my day to day and it just works itself out, you know, and I continue to be my own man. You know, I'm my own man. You know what I'm saying? So once you kind of figure something out for yourself, you know, you just stick with it, find happiness in whatever it is that you do, and continue and repeat and repeat and repeat. And just don't allow anybody to break your stride. Don't allow outside entities to break your spirit. And if you fail, it's only a lesson. If you fail, fine. Get back on that horse, try again. You know what I'm saying? So the worst thing you could do is sit there and you try to become something great and you fail. Okay, fine. Get back on the horse, do it again and again and again until you get it right. You think I fucking learned how to build houses overnight? You know how many houses I fucked up and destroyed before I got this shit right? You know what I'm saying? You know how much money I lost trying to figure this shit out? A lot. You know what I'm saying? But I never quit. And I went through a lot of ridicule from people that allegedly loved me or cared about me. But all I was dealing with was how stupid I was and how dumb I was. And why are you doing this? And I mean, this came from people that were in my immediate circle of influence telling me that you'll never get that amount. You'll never. Oh, dude. You name it, it fucking happened. But you know, the thing was, is like, look, I don't give a fuck about what you have to say because you're not doing it. You see what I'm saying? This is about credibility again. When you do this shit your fucking self, then I'll fucking listen to you. When you put your dick on the line and you go buy this motherfucker and you put your money into it and you get it all done and get it to the finish line and you put your credit and this, that, and the other and put a renter in there and refinance it, then come back and talk to me after you do it 10 times. You see what I'm saying? Then come back and talk to me. But these same people, you know what I'm saying? They know how to get under your skin. They're like, they're just quick to, you know what that is? That's their failure and that's their fear talking. People let their fear and their failure fucking try to talk to you.
They're putting their limitations on you.
Yeah.
We're each our own person. Our path is different. Our destinies are different.
You got to be able to see through that bullshit and call them out on their bullshit. It's like, look, I'm like, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? So whenever somebody comes at you, when they're trying to basically shit on your dreams and this, that, and the other, the best way to handle that is, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? What have you done? You know what I'm saying? What have you done? Oh, that's right. You worked this clerical job for the last XYZ. You ain't never fucking took a risk in your life. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So don't let nobody shit on your dreams. Now, I'm not saying be stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be stupid. I'm saying take the practical approach before you pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
So I had money saved before I just said, you know what? I'm going to invest in myself. I had money saved. You know what I'm saying? And I had an epiphany on my 37th birthday. I'm in Singapore at the Marina Bay Sands up in the pool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? I said, there is a God. I remember exactly what I said. I'm like, you know what? There is a God. I said, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I remember that. I said, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. And I said, take care of your family. You don't take care of your family, you ain't shit. I never forget that. And I said, don't focus on externalities. I said, don't focus on things outside of, externalities means you focus on validation from other things and other people. I said, don't focus on what other people have to say or what other or things. You know what I'm saying? Don't work for things, work for goals. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, and I mean this, there is a God. Okay. There is a fucking God. I promise you that. Okay. There is a higher power.
100.
There is a higher power, but nothing in life worth having comes easy. Okay. It don't come easy. Okay. It comes with trauma. It comes with trial. It comes with tribulations. It comes with bumps in the road, but that's what makes you better. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, you don't take care of your family, you ain't shit. Okay. If you become something fantastic in life and your family's doing bad, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? There's something fucking wrong with you. So it doesn't matter if it's 5%, 10% or whatever, give back. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that motherfucker. It's like having you sold like 1 million albums or 2 million albums. You just made $10 million, but your mom's still living in the hood. Why? God don't sleep. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your family, good things always come back. You know what I'm saying? It may be inconvenient, you know what I'm saying? But when you do the right things for the right people, and when you're changing people's lives, and when I say family, I mean the people that are around you. Because blood don't make you family. Loyalty does. Blood don't make you family. Loyalty does. So when you take care of the people that are loyal to you, that believe in you, you know what I'm saying? It comes back full circle. I am a footprint of this. Everything that I do, every nickel that I earn or whatever, I make sure that people are taken care of. I take care of families. I take care of people. I make sure that, mouths are fed and this, that, and the other. And this is why God continues to bless me by being blessed, by any means necessary. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't glorify what I do. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's a means for survival. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm done. Perfect. This portion of King David Super Show is brought to you in part by LeBear's Casino. Thank you for your money.
For your money.
Thank you for your money. Thank you for your money. Oh, man.
Yeah. And also, man, be on the lookout for transportation music coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Go to tswin.herenow.now. tswin.herenow.com for my music. That song you heard, Boston, is available now, streaming on all music platforms. Make sure you go listen, stream, and download it, buy it. You know what I'm saying?
That song jams, dude. That's one of my favorite songs you've done.
Yeah.
And of course, this episode will be on Spotify. It'll be on SiriusXM, Stitcher, Google Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, The Book Company, right? What's it called? Amazon, Apple Podcasts and iTunes, and Ask Alexa or Ask Siri. Hey, Siri, play the King's Thought of the Day. It'll play it. It's fucking dope. Here she goes.
To do that, you'll need to turn off airplane mode.
I know. I don't want to be disturbed. Thank you, Siri. So on that note, peace, love, and hair grease.
This man makes like.
You there? It's doing that lag shit again.